All right, so it is that time once again. We have a gold ticket. We have a couple of gold tickets, and we're looking to farm a few more infinite tickets. And this time, we are going to be doing a new deck that I named Din Did 'em Dirty. So in my Discord, I saw a post about a junk Galactus deck, and I thought it was interesting, but I thought it was going to be a little bit too gimmicky. I passed on trying it at that time, and then I was scrolling on Twitter later, and I saw that Din, content creator Din, posted about a Galactus junk deck and wrote a little bit of an explanation, and it seems pretty promising. I ran it a couple of times in Proving Grounds in Silver, and it did very, very well. And so today we're going to be running a Galactus junk deck, and it sounds awful, but all you need to do is win one game off of a surprise factor, and you could be 8 cubes into your opponent. And so we're gonna take this straight into the gold tier, into the gold conquest, and see if we can overcome some of the more meta decks in the game. All right, first up we have Slacker. It is a little bit later than when we normally play, and so we did have a little bit of a wait time. Perfectly fine, but we did have a little bit of wait time. Necrotia is actually beautiful for a Galactus deck that's looking to drop the Galactus on turn 6. So okay, so we lost our Debrii, nothing major. They lost their Misty Knight, so they're running a high evolutionary, probably control or affliction deck, but we don't know that for sure. But by seeing the Misty Knight, I assume that that's what we're going against. We get the Green Goblin, we have the Hobgoblin, and I'm really tempted to do it into Necrotia. But at the same time, I really like the idea of being able to do something like Green Goblin. We can do an Iron Fist at the end of next turn, and that allows us to do like a Spider-Man and then move to get a more guaranteed amount of power in Washington, D.C. But knowing that the High Evolutionary deck typically will run a Doctor Doom, we're not gonna go for the Washington, D.C. lane. We're just gonna suck it up. We're not gonna be able to do the Spider-Man lock. And so it's going to be a little bit more challenging, but I think that's okay. Let's go Daredevil and Iron Fist. Now, hopefully that throws them off of our trail a little bit, but I do think Iron Fist is becoming more and more associated as we go on. I think it's becoming more and more associated with Galactus because it creates so many like funky plays that you're able to follow through on. We get our Viper, not anything that we're going to follow up on. Right now, we have initiative in Washington, D.C. If we can have initiative going into the last turn, maybe we can overcome the She-Hulk that they threw down. But a High Evolutionary She-Hulk deck, that tells me they are really wanting to like skip, soak, float energy so that they can slam like multiple big power plays onto the board. No, they didn't. Oh no. Oh no. We're going to have initiative going to this last turn, and they just locked themselves out of Necrotia. The Daredevil read is so big in Conquest mode. I love having the Daredevil read. It gives me really clear snap lines if the opponent doesn't retreat whenever the Daredevil comes down because they don't know much about the deck yet. Then sometimes you can persuade them into some bigger cubes in the process. Cyclops is not going to be big enough, though. And so I think we maybe threw them off with the Iron Fist, and then we are going to make them kneel. Unfortunately, it's going to be for only 4 instead of 8. So we're letting the cat out of the bag. We're letting them know what our ultimate goal of the deck is, which I am a little bit hesitant about. But I think oh no, 2 cubes. Okay, so they know we have some goblins, so they know we're going with some kind of clog deck. But honestly, they didn't see much else. They saw the Debrii, and maybe that's what threw them off of the Galactus play. We'll take the 2. Let's jump into the second match. See if we can go for another one. So we do get Ghost Spider, which is a really cool tech for us. TVA is not great in most games, but maybe we can get Viper and send it over. Maybe we can get Carnage. Right now we don't have either, but we'll see. We'll see if it's something we're able to make happen. Lechugia is a little bit scary. All right, let's go Daredevil and TVA. We're still hoping to get either the Viper or Carnage. Not likely, but that's what we're hoping for. That way we can maybe surprise them with competing for the right lane when they wouldn't be expecting us to. Ooh, actually, we do get Carnage. Part of me wants to use Ghost Spider this turn or Carnage to use all of our energy efficiently. However, I think using the Carnage, making sure that we win in Hala, is going to give enough of a surprise factor that we're able to hold this one down. I think that's my gut impression anyways. Ooh, the Cyclops in the Lechugia is big. They do have the potential for like a storm, which could really, really derail pretty much any game line or game plan that we're wanting to go with. So how confident are we in the left lane? Or in the middle? Or Hala? I don't know. I think they're gonna try to. I don't know what they're gonna try to do. I can't even assume. I don't think they play for Hala. We do rip the demon out of the Lechugia with our Ghost Spider, giving us a pretty good tempo push in the TVA. The thing comes down. Oh no! We lose by 1. That is devastating. Had we just not played the Ghost Spider, we had the Lechugia locked in. Had we played the Ghost Spider into mid, which I thought about, but I also thought they might soak and float and lean into the thing. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate for us. I bet they're really confused as to what our deck is. All right, let's go ahead and jump into match number 3. We do get Galactus. Okay, we have Viper, Debris. Ooh, Bar with No Name is also kind of interesting for us dropping like the Hood. They could also, I mean, I guess they could do Scorpion Wasp, which could help us win that lane a little bit further. We could also play something bigger than Viper and then send it over into Bar with No Name as well. Ant Maze is terrifying, but it is what it is. Oh, wait. We get a unique opportunity with Ant Maze that you don't normally get in other games. What we're going to be able to do, turn 5, we're going to have to play for the Avengers Compound. What we can do is Debris into the Avengers Compound or Bar with No Name, but I'd rather not play for that location right now. We can then next turn do a Viper. We send over the rock that almost clogs Ant Maze. Viper's going to move to a different lane. We're not going to be able to really do anything other than hope that we can have initiative going to the last turn, but it's not very likely, honestly. All right, let's go Daredevil. Let's go Viper here. Maybe we go Spider-Man into the Avengers Compound on the last turn. We do have Spider-Woman to lean in on if we need to, but we'll see. We'll see. The first card in Ant Maze is going to move, which is fantastic. They haven't played anything into Ant Maze yet. Oh, wait. So that makes it really tough for them to avoid a Galactus in that location because the first card that they play is going to bounce somewhere else. They could do a Doctor Doom, but that's really their only bit of hope, I guess. Okay, so they do drop 2 cards, a Spider-Man and a Wasp. I don't think they're going to go Doctor Doom here. I feel like they're not going to go Doctor Doom. What could they be going in Bar with No Name? And I'm fairly certain they haven't played into Ant Maze. They know that we have the Galactus. Doctor Doom is the only thing I can realistically see them being able to use, and them having She-Hulk, regular Hulk, and the other, I can't see that happening. An Arrow could do it? Okay, let's go ahead. I'm not going to snap into this just because I'm a little bit hesitant. Maybe they forgot? No, they just don't play. They skip and soak. Okay, we're fine. We win. What? Why is the last play ever just a skip? I guess because they knew Ant Maze would push it out, and so they were just going to float in the right lane and hope that they absorbed enough that they were fine. I don't know. We should have snapped into it. I should have trusted my gut. Let's go ahead and jump over into match number 4. We're slowly chipping away at the armor. Go ahead and jump over into the next match, and hopefully we can get some big cube movement as well. We have Hood, Viper, Ghost Spider, and then Asteroid M, which is going to be pretty. Actually, that's pretty good. We have Hood. We have Viper, and then the Ghost Spider. Green Goblin will yank over into Asteroid M. That's going to put at least 2 cards in that lane for them. If they play their Cyclops, if they play their thing, it gets yanked over into Asteroid M, and there's nothing they can do about it. Hala's fine. Let's go Viper. After that, we'll have to use the Ghost Spider right away. Pull it out from Asteroid M, and then we have to be cautious about any 3-cost cards that we use. So the only thing that would hit that point would be Debris. Okay, so they go Sunspot in the right lane. We are looking to just bombard the Asteroid M location where they just can't do anything about it. Vormir is interesting. The first card played into Vormir will get destroyed. All right, I'm going to do Ghost Spider to pull the Viper for now, and then we'll kind of play it by ear. It could have a Wasp. Okay, but the Wasp is unfortunate for you, my friend. Let's do Green Goblin into Hala, because Asteroid M will yank it over into this lane, so we're safe there. We have the Iron Fist, but I don't think we're going to utilize it. We don't have Galactus just yet, but we're setting up the perfect... No. We're setting up the perfect Galactus play. They don't have a way to clear this, do they? No. My God. Oh, no. The Asteroid M is just... They can't do anything about it. It is just gone. All right. We still don't have Galactus, but we're going to make them think that we do. Even if we don't, we just have to fight for one additional location. Right now, if they play anything into Vormir, it's not going to stick. And so let's do something like Iron Fist into Carnage. On the last turn, we can do a Spider-Woman plus Demon if we need to. Otherwise, if we draw Galactus, yeah, I figured we would, after capping out the left lane, we would force a retreat from Slacker here. And so another small chip in the armor. Our Galactus list is taking them one at a time. That's why the first game, I really like to get a big cube transition, a really big cube transaction. So something that kind of surprises the opponent, a 4 or an 8 cube, because after that, it gets very, very slow very quickly. We have our Daredevil here. We have Viper, Carnage, Spider-Man to lock in a lane. Let's see what we can make happen. Jumping into the double stakes, the high stakes rounds from turn 5 onwards. Wakanda Embassies, okay, we didn't have any of our goblins, so it didn't hurt us too much. We have our Iron Fist to use in tandem with like a Carnage or a Viper, depending on what the last location is, depending on what else we draw into. We could also use Iron Fist at the end of turn 4 to allow a turn 5 lock into a Galactus play. And we may even bluff. We may even bluff them if we don't have Galactus. It just really depends on how the rest of their board state looks. Okay, so the Superflow... actually kind of interesting. I kind of like the idea of doing this. It's going to take away their Superflow bonus. It keeps ours because it's going to move Viper over here. The only bad thing, it gives them 2 power. 2, the next bad thing is that it takes away one of our movement possibilities. So the Iron Fist to move the Spider-Man after the lock is now gone. I think we might be okay with that. Okay, so the Green Goblin comes in. All right, we could do Carnage, we could do Ghost Spider. We're gonna do just a Green Goblin right here, and we'll go from there. We're avoiding the Danger Room because we really don't want anything to get destroyed. Okay, She-Hulk in the Superflow is pretty big. Since they already had the 3 power here, they did go ahead and just go all in into the Superflow lane. Let's see if we can maybe capitalize on it, punish them a little bit. It's always a little bit silly when you see Daredevil reading and then you snap before you drop your cards. I know that it says like, hey, I'm confident here, but to me it just says that you might be a little bit silly. Okay, so it goes down to a 25% chance in the Danger Room if we play our Galactus. They have initiative, but no matter whose cards stay here, it should be okay. I don't know that we want to go with that. Go ahead and retreat out for the 2. I'm not going to take the risk. The Spider-Man lock in Danger Room was big. It was very big. There's a chance that we could have overcame their power. It was risky. It all came down to a roll of the dice. A 1 out of 4 that whatever card they played would get destroyed. And if they can play 2 cards, then I think they have even more chance of winning. Wakanda, the first location, cards won't be able to be destroyed there. Green Goblin, Hobgoblin, sending them some junk would all be fantastic here. We have Viper, Carnage, Ghost Spider, all looking great to be able to try to lock in a location on them. The Misty Knight is big. Unfortunately, that makes it a little bit rough to lock in a location. Get our Galactus now. 1-800 Galactus. We're going to go ahead and skip. Carnage, Viper, Ghost Spider, none of them really give us much value just yet. But what does give us value is the Debrii into a Viper / Ghost Spider. That is going to clear up so much. That's going to clog up this lane dramatically. We get this. We get the Spider-Man too. So let's go ahead and send them a rock. And I mean, we could do Carnage to clear up this location if we wanted to. Now, I guess it's only clearing up the Viper. All right, let's do Viper. We're going to do Ghost Spider to pull it out of the Nexus location. Next turn, even if we don't have a great read on what they're doing, we could go Spider-Man. It's not huge, but it's okay. They go Wasp into Fisk Tower. They go Viper into, or we go Viper into the Nexus. Then we yank the Viper out. And so a Spider-Man lock on their end would be very, very difficult to overcome because that's going to just, I think, do more than what we could combat. We got our Daredevil a turn too late. Spider-Man lock here is good if they don't go with the Spider-Man lock of their own. I think we risk it here. We're gonna do Spider-Woman into the Nexus. We do have Galactus. If we knew that they didn't have Spider-Man lock, this would be just like almost a surefire win. But I think they're gonna Spider-Man lock this middle location. Beautiful. And then we are going to use a Spider-Woman, which is going to give us the power advantage in mid. And now we just have to take that advantage and be able to win one additional location. We actually get, ooh, that's pretty cool. I mean, Daredevil, Iron Fist, Carnage will munch on that right lane and then push himself into the Nexus, giving himself a fantastic lead in the process. Their Spider-Man cannot stop us from generating 5 cubes here. We should, or I guess 5 bars of health. We should be able to hold this one down. I think no matter what they play, maybe it's I don't know. Wait, how come the Iron Fist went over here? What? The Iron Fist didn't go over there. It just looks funky, right? Because it's only 16, which is the 8 and the 8. The Iron Fist is just hanging out. It's a visual glitch, I assume. I guess I don't know that I've honestly ever used Iron Fist into destroying my own Iron Fist and moving my card. That's probably a first. And so we have a little bit of a visual glitch on the Iron Fist, but we are able to hold it down against the high evolutionary lockdown style deck. A few cubes at a time is all it takes, and then one big 5 cube game off of a Spider-Man read was all that it took to seal the deal. We will go ahead and take our 6-round victory for the first gold match. If they're all going to be like this is going to be a grueling battle. Maybe we can get some big cubes on Battle 2 and Battle 3. Let's go ahead and jump on in to the next match. All right, we are jumping straight in to Battle 2. The first one was a fantastic success. We have did 'em dirty. We're going to continue all the way through our gold run. See if we can take Galactus all the way through gold tier. All right, next up we have Tommy and Go 60, or Tommy and Go. Potentially. The G and the 6 look so eerily similar. Okay, so we have Galactus starting off. We have our Hood. We have Daredevil, so we'll get a read as we feel them out for what kind of deck they're running. The first or the second round, whenever they don't really know what we have, is the biggest opportunity for us to get big cube games out of it. So we're going to go ahead and do the Viper. We have Ghost Spider to pull Viper out. Ooh, they go Yondu here. It does hit our Green Goblin. This could be just a regular destroy deck, which gets really scary. Having a Carnage, having a Deathlock is something that we just struggle against so heavily. Okay, so we're gonna do something silly here. We only need to do 1 card into the Altar of Death, but I want to keep my options open. Ghost Spider's gonna pull Viper out of this lane, and then these 2 are gonna be destroyed. They always have the opportunity. Well, I guess we don't have the opportunity. So let's see where Aunt May pushes this middle card. And then depending on where it goes. Okay, so it goes over into Lemuria. Their Wolverine, where does that bounce? into Aunt May's. Okay. So we're discounting a death so heavily for them. Let's get a Carnage Destruction here. 6, 8. They have initiative. I think if they destroy anything, they're going to destroy Lemuria. If not, we have Galactus that'll bounce out of Aunt May's after trying to trigger here. So I think it's worthwhile. I think they destroy the left lane. Venom. Okay, Venom comes down. They do get a second Deadpool, but they're going to only have one space to play now. Next turn, we do get the extra energy from our Carnage. Not that we necessarily need it, but it was a crutch. I felt like we needed to play it. And so maybe we get Spider-Man off the top deck here. And we didn't snap into that. We probably should have. Because now they know our gambit. Now they know what we're intending to run. So none of the cards left in our deck are fantastic. I do wish we had Hobgoblin here. Okay, so the Shang-Chi comes down. Not the last turn of the game though. And then the Deadpool is stuck here. So can we overpower this? I don't know. It really depends on what else they have. This is going to be 12 power total with the Spider-Woman plus 14 with the Iron Fist. No, I don't think we can. Read out. We got the Galactus, but we did not get the victory. We will take the 2-cube loss. I don't think we had that one. Depending on how they navigated that last or that in-game, I don't think we quite had it. This is going to be a rough battle. A death deck was something that I was very hesitant about and very reasonably afraid of because of their ability to clear up the clog or the junk that we send their way. So let's go ahead and we'll skip. We probably save Aunt May's for a turn 6 play. We do have Daredevil here. So we'll get a turn 5 read. If we can use Spider-Man into Aunt May's and then move it out, that's fantastic. We get Viper here. Or we had Viper. We have our Carnage. We might as well clear up the right location. I assume they have a death at some point. Maybe they won't get their Deadpool. This isn't the negative Deadpool deck that's been floating around. That's a big mirror dimension. Thanks. We get Shadowland in the middle. They don't destroy this lane. I think we can cap it out with our Green Goblin. And then we just have to really push to win either Shadowlands or Aunt May's. We could always hit them with the Debris into a Viper move. But I think the Green Goblin is what we want to do here. They did snap into this. Okay, so they're fighting for that right lane. The Yondu comes down. It hits our Galactus. But I was already assuming that we weren't going to be able to play the Galactus this game anyways. The good thing is they have not been able to play their Deadpool. I assume Death is in the deck somewhere. Ooh, we get Spider-Man, which is going to be spicy. I almost want to snap right here, right now, but this lane is going to be a little bit tough to overcome. Okay, so they do use their Death. But that... Wait, have they played anything into Aunt May's? I think that's the first card they play into Aunt May's. Spider-Man, he's going to take the +3 power and he's going to jump into middle. If not, we do have both Spider-Woman and Demon. We could do Spider-Woman here, Demon over here to secure the win. As long as they didn't have something already bounce out of Aunt May's. I don't think they have. It's also kind of scary. Okay, they did not. Great. So it does jump over into Shadowland. Our Spider-Man is going to go into Shadowland. Of the Shadowlands that it could have went into, it definitely went into Shadowland. It could clear a -2 here, but it could clear our -2 as well. There's no way they stick this one out, right? And Arnhem Zola would just leave them hanging here. Yeah. We are able to get the 4 cubes off of the Destroy deck. If we can overcome a Destroy deck, it's going to be mighty impressive. Because this is one of our probably biggest Nemesi, the hardest decks to go up against. Ooh, Sakaar would just pull into like Hobgoblin, Spider-Man. If we had Galactus, we could always try to bluff snap them, but I don't think it's going to be worth it. Hobgoblin comes down, but they may destroy it right away. Fortunate. That is not what you want. That is not what you want to see right off the bat. We do know that that is one of their few destruction tools. And so they're going to have a Killmonger, I assume. They're going to have Venom and Deathlock, but I think that's it. And so now it's a little bit harder for them to secure a lockdown against like a Green Goblin, against a Spider-Man, maybe an Iron Fist into a Spider-Man, into a Galactus. We're gonna go ahead and play this one out a little bit for a little bit longer. They snapped, but I don't think this is like the end all of our run either. We can do Debris, eventually consolidate a lane, but I think we're gonna do Green Goblin into Mirror Dimension. They might destroy it, but their Venom would kind of suffer. It'd end up being 0. Their Deathlock would be great, but that would be the last destroy trigger that they have. Killmonger does come down a touch too early, honestly, because now we have the Debris that we can use to clog up that middle location. If it turns into Sakaar, it would pull another card for us, but alas, it does not. All right, let's do. We don't have a way to. We don't have a way to clear up the Debris rocks that we're sending their way, right? That gets a little bit iffy. Shang-Chi, what are you doing, Tommy Go? That's a bold one. We do have a way to clear it up. We don't have Galactus, which is the only non-beautiful thing. We have a 1 out of 4 chance to draw into it next turn, but that is a 3 out of 4 chance to not. So, what do they go here? Okay, they go the Venom into this lane. They could have the Arnim Zola as their last card. Let's lock them out of mid. The only card that we haven't seen in their deck is this last one. It could be an Arnim Zola, but that seems kind of wild, honestly. They could go Death here, but we have Spider-Woman, which would at least match the 12. We would need to draw into like Iron Fist to be able to make that viable. We'll see. We'll see what we're able to make happen. If we draw into Galactus, I'm going to be so sad. Because that would mean we had the opportunity to mount the hood. All right. Still sad, just for a different reason. Do we think they have their death here? If they do, that brings them up to 12. Spider-Woman brings them down to 8. We are stuck at exactly 8 power there. Do we risk it? Is it worth the 4-cube risk here? Yondu, they would have used destroyed 5. For last turn, it was only 1. They couldn't have used death early. We're going to back out. That was a tough one. I wanted to stay and just call them on their, like, hey, you don't have death, or maybe even null, if that's the thing. He might have. Null, I don't know that it would have been that big because it did destroy the Hobgoblin, but there was very good likelihood that they had death in hand. Project Pegasus here is pretty cool. Do we bluff snap them? Bluff snap them. They're not buying it. Oh no. Okay, well, we throw 2 cards into mid. Do they destroy it on turn 1 again? No way. No way, Tommy Go. No way. All right, well, that was rude. There goes our Hobgoblin once again. And rightfully so, they snap back, but that stings a little bit. All right, we got a little bit too hasty. We tried to bluff snap them. They knew that Galactus on turn 1 for this particular deck isn't the strongest for our end. We now get Galactus in our opening hand, so just in time for the double stakes rounds. Their death is going to be free. We have to keep that in mind. Collapse Mine immediately takes it from a 12 cost to a 0. We lose 4 cubes here, and we just lose the game. What do they have? Yondu? They have Yondu for this lane? I mean, we could do a double Debris, which would be a lot of clog for them if we end up drawing it. Okay, so Deadpool and then the double Yondu. It's our Viper and then our Daredevil. So we won't get the read on turn 5, but that gives us a better chance to draw into Debris, into our rocks. Ooh, there is the Debris. And so we have Debris. Double rocks into an Iron Fist plus Carnage, into a number of things. But do they play for the Shuri's Lab location this turn? Do they use Killmonger here to clear up the Deadpool? I don't know. Let's go double Debrii. Oh, wait. They get a destruction in that right lane? No, not yet. We have a chance. We have an opportunity. If they don't have Killmonger, if they do not draw into their Killmonger, they are sitting very scarily low on resources here. So we could do the Green Goblin here to give ourselves a couple of options going into turn 5. Or we could go ahead and do the Carnage plus Ghost Spider. We're going to do Green Goblin in the left. We're going to do Iron Fist in the Camartage lane. Next turn, we could always do the Carnage and it's going to move out. We could do Hobgoblin into a lane, whatever lane is clear. Okay, well. Okay, so they cleared this. So they cleared their left lane, but they did not play. Oh no. What I thought they would play. We have the Iron Fist. We can't play into Camartage, which I almost made a mistake. We can't play it into Camartage. The 2 cards left in our deck are Spider-Man and Spider-Woman. Stressful, you guys. We have to clear up a location. This is going to destroy here, move all the way over. This will generate 2 cards or two 1-cost cards. Let's see. Do they have the Killmonger? They don't have the Killmonger. We should be in the clear. That should be game. This should be game with the Iron Fist tech moving the Carnage across the board. We should still be alive here. Shuri's Lab allows us to double the power of the Carnage, which is just massive. They shouldn't have anything that's going to disrupt this, right? Even a Killmonger now would end up doing Nova, Rock. Wolverine would be just 5. So we should be just fine. Shang-Chi in the left lane, perfectly fine. We're okay with that. The death, and we get our Galactus, the 4-cube trigger of Galactus. This is an intense battle because it all comes down to those tech cards. If we're able to kind of surprise them with a lockdown when they're not anticipating it, it gets very, very scary very, very quickly. We're going to have the 14 power Galactus. I cannot believe we're hanging in here with this. I don't know a better way to describe it. With this deck, they're down to their last 2, so they're going to have to win back-to-back to have a chance here. We just need 1. We just need to be able to get lucky and get one of them. The cloning Vats is so unfortunate because they'll be able to do a Venom into a Venom into a Venom, a Deadpool into a Carnage into a Deadpool into a Carnage, and just continually just obliterate us. Nidavellir is also one that is fantastic for Venom play. I'm going to go ahead and skip again. We're going to let them... Okay, so the Deadpool, the Wolverine... We'll see. We get our Galactus. Do we try a Green Goblin? I mean, why not? I assume they destroy this lane, right? I guess at this point, we're just letting them know we have it. What we can do, it's going to be kind of interesting. We can do next turn, or this turn, I guess. We could do Green Goblin. Do Green Goblin here into Iron Fist. Next turn, we can do Spider-Man, lock them out of the raft, push our Spider-Man over. We would just have to hope that Wolverine does not come through and derail our game plan. This would be for the life of us. This would be for our life. They play Venom in the left lane. They're going to get a massive Venom back in return. The Wolverine does bounce into the raft location, unfortunately, and so our lock there no longer works necessarily. So I assume they're going to use Venom here, right? Venom here this turn just gives them so much value. Depending on where Wolverine bounces, though, maybe we can cheat them out of this. No, they do play 2 cards into Nidavellir. Okay, they play heads up. The Cloning Vats, Nidavellir, all fantastic for those destruction tools. when you normally have limited resources, it's fantastic. We don't have any way to overcome some massive cards that they do have right now. All right, so that was the one. It now comes down. It will now come down to the big high stakes round. All right, Tommy, win or lose. This is unfortunate. We still haven't seen their last card. I don't think it's a null, but at this point, like I feel like they would have shown it to us by now. We don't know. A Spider-Man, an Iron Fist into a Spider-Man is going to be a pretty decent line for us. We do have the Hobgoblin as well. I'm in disbelief that we've played them 6 rounds now. One of the cards they have never used. I doubt that they run. I doubt that they run an America Chavez. Maybe it's an Arnim Zola, which would make sense why we haven't seen it. Maybe it's a Taskmaster, which they've never had an opportunity to use. Mojo World's decent for us. Not for Galactus, just in general for playing multiple cards, especially since they're leaning into like a destroy factor. We might be able to steal Mojo World away and then try to lock them out of another lane with Spider-Man. That might be a decent line for us. I think Tommy Go may be falling asleep. He's taking forever. All right, they have the Carnage, so they're going to enable their Deadpool early and often. That is 1 destruction trigger. They have 3 more, the Killmonger, the Venom, and the Deathlock. The good thing is that doesn't really help them all that much, but it doesn't help us either. I mean, the Spider-Man's now cheaper, so we can do Iron Fist and Spider-Man on the same turn. A little bit less telltale, but our Galactus is a little bit less powered. The previous version would have been more powerful. It would have been like a 3 whatever. Jubilee from the hub is wild here. And they pull their Killmonger? No way. Tommy, you are destined to win this one. And so their Deadpool costs extra every single turn, right? It's 0 cost Hobgoblin is taunting me, you guys. I'm going to use Debris. Do they Yondu? Okay. They're Green Goblin. Unfortunate, but not the end of the world. They do use Venom. So the only destruction trigger they have left is a Deathlock, which might be a 5 cost card now if they had it in hand early. Their death also becomes pretty cheap here. If they end up capping out Mojo World, we do have the ability to go with a free Hobgoblin. We get the Daredevil Read, which is probably our only little bit of like kind of solace or comfort here. Being able to lock them into a location. The good thing is I think their Deadpool is a little bit too expensive to get a lot of value from. They've also used their Killmonger. We'll see. All right, so they do... Wow. That is a null. I think they got us 11 power, plus they're going to destroy this lane. I think they've gotten us. I think they have the best of us. But there's a small chance. I mean, I guess with Venom here, it destroys enough. This is a tough one. All right. Go ahead and lock this in. Their massive null is huge. Oh, makes me sick. The only good thing here, it's very, very small. So they have the lead. If they use a Deathlock here, that bumps this by 9, but it also leaves them at just 5 or just 3. If they don't destroy this, right now this is 18. We get 8 to 10 plus the 4, 14 plus the 5 from the Hobgoblin. That's going to be that kind of surprise element. A Wolverine and a Deathlock. If neither of those got hit with that inversion, they could do a death over here. We're gonna stop debating it through. Okay, so the death and the Shang-Chi in the left lane. No, we do not overcome the massive odds against us. I cannot believe that we were able to hold that one down. My goodness. I feel like as far as a hard counter deck goes, something with that much destruction is definitely in that category. Wow. Tommy. That was a phenomenal battle. Very, very tense, very back and forth. We definitely clawed our way through that second battle and into the third. Can we be victorious with a Galactus list and grab that ever elusive infinity ticket? We'll go ahead and jump over into the third battle. All right, next up we have SnapChad. Like Snapchat, but he's a Chad. First location is Space Throne, which is phenomenal if we... It's phenomenal if we end up getting like a goblin or something to use in Space Throne, giving us the guaranteed Galactus lock. They snapped on the Limbo read, though. I'm going to stick it out, though. It's still really, really early. Okay, so the Nebula. Nebula's fine. They could have like a Jeff. They could have some kind of lock component. I guess next turn, we could do something really, really cheeky on turn 5. We could do an Iron Fist into a Hobgoblin in Limbo. Kind of like safely go from here over to here. Is it good? I don't know. Is it fun? Yes, definitely. So the Cyclops comes through, and I don't even know that this is going to be safe, though. Oh, actually, on turn 5, it won't matter, will it? We're going to skip turn 4 and see what arises from turn 5. If they don't do anything in Space Throne, we'll be able to easily lock that one in. Quantum Realm becomes very difficult for us, just in general. I think we're going to move all of our cards over into Quantum Realm. Like, I'm okay throwing them off our scent. Like, this kind of looks like just like a move hybrid deck. And so with the Iron Fist being the last card that we drop, oh no. You goblined us? Why do you have Goblin? Why you Goblin, bro? Okay, well, that's unfortunate. So, the Iron Fist. Wait. No way. Do we come out on top with the bigger Goblin? If so, that's the best Space Throne play I would have ever made. It's Professor X. It's unfortunate. I wish we had initiative. I really want the Hobgoblin into the Space Throne because of the Iron Fist. Oh, I want that so bad. Doing the Hobgoblin here is not going to be the play. We have Spider-Woman. Would take them down a notch here, but the Nebula is going to continue to grow. We're going to retreat out. We're not going to show them the Spider-Woman. We're not going to show them the Hobgoblin. All that they know right now is Ghost Spider, Iron Fist, and Daredevil. That is all they know, and I'm okay keeping it at that because we know at least one additional card. We know a lot about their deck just from that first game. And I do think this one is definitely more manageable than the Destroy deck that we faced before. I don't think we disconnected. Did the opponent disconnect here? Victory. No. I don't even feel good about that one. Snapchat, if you watch my videos, I apologize. Like, send me a friend request on Discord and we'll set up a battle mode. I feel bad about that one. Like, I feel so bad about that one. We do win the gold conquest. Like, we got the infinite ticket, but doesn't feel like a victory. But we're going to count it. Galactus conquers the gold conquest. I think after round 2 of that gold conquest, Galactus junk is fun. He's viable. Even against the Destroy deck, which should not have been possible, we were able to claw our way to victory. RIP Snapchat. Let's go ahead and we are going to go ahead and end the video there. I apologize for the lackluster round 3. What can you do with disconnects? We are going to go ahead and take the W where we can. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Galactus is still viable. Who would have thought that after the Galactus change, this is what would have came from it? A Galactus junk deck. If you ever told me that somebody would willingly put both Debris and Galactus into the same deck, I would have called you crazy. We're going to go ahead and take the win where we can. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, this has been TLSG. Later, guys.